Whew. Well, good morning. It's 5:30. Okay, so I'm a little bit early this morning, but basically on time. This is day number 9, okay, of my walking slash exercise regimen. Today is let me get my stuff ready here. Today is June the 30th, 2025. Last day of June. Tomorrow's the 1st of July. Okay, we're gonna go for a walk this morning, and today I have a goal set in mind. Oops, let's make sure the truck's locked. Okay, no, it's not. Yeah, let's get going. Okay, today I have a pretty lofty goal to hit 5 miles today, and I'm gonna try to do that. Let me set my devices. I forgot to set my walking thing and everything else, so let me get that started here. I keep promising you I'm going to show you the apps. I keep promising you I'm going to show you the apps that I use. I need to do that, don't I? That Map My Walk also has an app called Map My Ride, which is good for bicycling. Okay.
Start workout.
Put that phone back in there. Don't need the phone just to track myself. And we're going to talk about that this morning. I don't need my phone just to track myself. That's all I need it for. I'm going to put my stopwatch on my watch too. There we go. Got my stopwatch going. So I reckon 5 miles will probably take me 2 hours of walking. It will definitely get me my 10,000 steps, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm back on, changed cameras back to the Pocket 3. Saturday, I tried to use the Action 4. Had a lot of trouble with the white balance on that. My face looked all like I was a devil or something. Okay, yeah. So yeah, a couple things I want to talk about this morning. One of them is fitness tracking. Okay, now I'm using my phone to track my steps. Good morning, Mr. Truck Driver. This is part of the loop I did at the dog park. I'm using my phone to track my fitness steps and my actual health and all that. But I've been considering a device I put on my wrist. Okay, and I'm sure many of you who are watching the channel may have some kind of fitness watch. Could be an off-brand knockoff watch, could be a true Fitbit. Fitbits are really expensive, they're pricey. Yeah, oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I got a haircut last night, and my wife does my haircut for me. See that? And I request this. Okay, I request this really short hair in the summertime. So like last week, I've been working outdoors and stuff. I get all sweaty. I hate it. Okay, so I was weed eating yesterday, and when I came in, I told my wife, or asked my wife, I didn't tell her, if she'd give me a haircut. Of course, she jumps right up and does it for me, and then I jump in the shower and take care of everything else. But anyways, got a haircut. So yeah, back to the watch, the Fitbit watch, or the Chinese type of watches that you get on Amazon. If you wouldn't mind weigh in on that for me in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. The phone, carrying the phone adds just a little bit of weight to my side. Plus I have to carry this satchel. We call it a merce. Okay, if you know what a merce is, raise your hand and say, yeah, I do. Anyways, yeah, a merce. Yeah, so weigh in, tell me what you think. The phone is okay, you know, I don't mind using it. Plus, you know, in case something was to happen, I'd get in trouble and have to call for help. I do have the phone with me. But if you think wearing a fitness type watch all day long would be more beneficial, you know, the only reason you do it is to keep track. I don't always have my phone on my side when I'm walking around the house or out in the yard or whatever. So, you know, those steps aren't being counted. Is it important? I don't know. You tell me. Okay. Yeah, so we're on our walk this morning, and let's get to doing it. Let's see, Saturday afternoon, they had a car show in downtown Crossville that I went to. Took my camera to take some photographs and what have you. And I will leave a link in the description of this video if you want to go watch that after I get done today. It was a lot of fun, but here's what I wanted to tell you. I noticed a difference about something, and I really think it has to do with the walking. Over the last several months, I have noticed when I kneel down on my knee or knees or get down on the floor, when I went to stand back up, my knees ached, okay? And it's sometimes when I'm doing photography, getting down on one knee is something I got to do, okay, to get down lower. I like to shoot photographs from eye level. So these automobiles, I needed to kneel down. Well, I noticed that when I was standing back up, I wasn't having as much trouble. So it's possible that there's one benefit already to walking, is more flexibility in your joints. Okay, I did notice that. Another thing too, I had a comment from one of my readers, and I don't remember her name, but she'll know who she is when I talk about what I'm about to talk. It had to do with, I think, some of the conversation I was having about sugar and yogurt and that kind of stuff. Anyways, there is a person that she's a certified nutritionist. I never knew about her until this subscriber. Hey there, how you doing? Hey. Friendly dog back there at the fence. Anyways, I never knew about her until this viewer made a comment about it. I'll put a link to her video in the description, the one that I watched, and it had to do with walking versus running, okay, and I think weight loss. Walking versus running and weight loss. Well, just the gist of it, and you can go watch her video. She talks really fast, so normally when somebody does that, I have to slow down their playback speed a little bit, and you can do that in the YouTube app. You hit the little gear icon at the bottom right. There's a whole bunch of menu options, and one of them is playback speed. I slowed her down to about 80% so I could understand what she was saying. Anyways, she did talk really fast, and she had a lot of cuts in her video, so it's kind of hard to watch her face and follow her voice. But I did get the information. And basically what she said was walking is better. It has to do with the body's release of cortisol, which is a hormone. And you know, so if you were trying to lose weight, I think what she was trying to say was walking 10,000 to 12,000 steps every day for 1.5 or 2 hours, I guess, is the way to go. Now, I agree, for us seniors, you know, this is a low impact exercise that can benefit you. Running is harder on your joints, and I get it. You know, when you start running and that cortisol really starts kicking in, the endorphins and the adrenaline, and your body likes that, okay? When I was working out in my younger days, and I used to run on the treadmill, I didn't run on the street, but I run on the treadmill, and once I got kicked up to my stride, I really felt good about it, okay? So I get that part, but now I'm older and I really don't feel like running is in my cards, okay? Probably is not in your cards either. So therefore, that's why I'm walking. Now I have made some progress, okay? There's been I've noticed a little difference, okay? Just in the 9 days I've been doing this. So here's what I'm committed to do, and I'm really gonna try to meet this goal, okay? Tomorrow is July 1st. For 1 month, I'm going to weigh myself at the beginning of the month. I'm going to walk at least 10,000 steps every single day. Now it's a little more aggressive than what I've been doing. I have walked 2 days in a row before, but I have been taking a rest, okay, 1 day in between. I'm not going to do that this month. I'm going to really try to walk every single day. Now, does that mean I'll be vlogging every day? Probably not. You know, coming up with content to talk about, and I do have some things I want to talk about this morning, but you know, I have to think about what I'm going to talk about the morning before I come out, because if I think about it the evening before, I forget about it by morning what it was. I have to make myself a note, and I did make myself notes today. Now, when you're considering making a recommendation for a fitness watch, just remember something. I'm a Timex man. I do have Timex watch I wear all the time, so I'm not too sure how those fitness watches would fit into my lifestyle. Just remember that. Now, this is the part of the video where I give you encouragement, okay? And there's been a couple mornings, I have to admit, there's been a couple mornings where I have gotten up and for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I've thought about not walking, okay? But that moment was a fleeting moment and it went away. I am the kind of person that once I start something, I like to see results, okay? And I know that I'm not going to see results just in a week or so, okay? That I've really got to give it some time. And that's why I said that I was going to start on a 1 month journey of walking 10,000 steps every single day. I may not make every single day. There might be circumstances that I can't get out for some reason, but I'm going to try really hard, okay? And I hope you come along with me, okay? Maybe it's time that you try, okay? If you've been considering walking as a healthy alternative to sitting on the couch, you know what I mean? Okay, the other part of this video I want to talk about is a lot of it's addressed to seniors, okay? But let's talk about first off, there's two things. One, let's talk about the internet, okay? Every day I hear of somebody getting scammed, okay? Now this is important. There's a lot of people that are trying to hurt you. They're trying to get money out of you or whatever, okay? Personal information so they can drain your bank account and all that. So there's some precautionary steps that I want to tell you about, okay? Because these have been happening to me lately. So one of the things I do to protect myself on my cell phone is I have a contact list. If you are not in my contact list and you try to call me or text me, well, call me, I will not answer the phone. I have a voicemail. If it's a legitimate call and you need to talk to me, you will leave me a voicemail. And if I determine it's somebody that I know, that I don't have their name in my phone, then I will add it to the phone at that time. But I do not answer my phone for any phone number that I do not recognize. I don't care who it is, okay? If it's important, they will leave you a voicemail. Just make sure that your voicemail box is working properly and it's not full of messages and it's set up with a greeting, okay? Just make sure of that. The other thing is text messages. I get text messages all the time that do not make any sense, okay? Come on. We have been on this earth for a long time. We are senior citizens. We are smarter than that, okay? Don't answer those text messages. Don't click on the links or any of that, okay? I get messages about, oh, we got your resume and you're a perfect fit to work at home to make $5,000 a week, blah, 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 blah. Just click on this link. No, don't do it, okay? You also get messages about traffic tickets, U.S. Postal Service packages that are waiting to be delivered or held up somewhere. That's all a scam, okay? Do not open those messages, and do not click on any links that are in those messages. I'll tell you what I do. When I get those kind of messages, I go into my settings to block that phone number and report it, okay? You can do that. Now I have Cricket, and you know, that's off of AT&T towers, but I can block and report any text message, and I do that, okay? If you want to get a hold of me, you better give me your name, okay, so I can put you in my contact list. Otherwise, you ain't getting through, okay? So, senior citizens, beware, okay? Listen to what I got to say, because this is important. It really is. Here's the third thing. Surfing the internet, okay? We all do it. I have a computer, I have a phone, I have a tablet. I made a mistake about a month ago, and it was a stupid mistake, okay? When you search out something in Google search or whatever search engine you're using, usually the first 4 or 5 sites that show up on your search are not legitimate, okay? They're advertisements. And I'll give you an example. I was actually looking for the Tennessee Property Viewer site, which is a state of Tennessee site. I was in a hurry, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, okay? Here's me making a mistake telling you about it. And I clicked on the very first one at the top of the list. Well, it was not legit. And I should have known that when I got to the part where they wanted to charge me $1 for the view and then $7 for the PDF file, which, you know, is not a lot of money. And you think, you know, okay, I paid it. After I paid it and I got the PDF file, I realized there was nothing different on that site, on that information. It was an advertiser. I didn't read the fine print. A lot of you don't, okay? I didn't. About 2 days later, I was checking my checking account, and there was a $30 charge. In addition to the $8 they charged me several days before, there was a $30 charge on there from this same place. I said, what? So I didn't know what was going on. I immediately called the bank. They canceled my debit card. I had to go get a new debit card. It was a new number. I could not get my old number back. I had things tied to that debit card, like my Amazon account, my Adobe account. Had to go change all that crap, okay? Because I didn't read. I texted them because they had texted me after the $8 charge and asked me if everything was satisfactory. And I answered them. You know, I thought it was, you know, thought it was strange. And I answered them. And when I got the $30 charge, I texted them back. I said, why are you charging me $30? Oh, it's for the monthly fee to be able to do what I did one time. I said, no, I don't want that. Oh, do you want us to cancel that? I said, yeah. So they canceled it, okay? And then I got an email from them telling me they canceled that, okay? But at that point, it didn't really matter because I had changed debit card numbers and they couldn't charge me again anyways. But my warning to you is make sure you read the websites that are coming up on your screen to make sure you're getting to the exact one. I've even tried to go into my Google Drive, okay, and the first 4 or 5 sites that pop up on the internet are not Google, okay. So just pay attention, okay. So that's just my message about that, okay. Don't get scammed. I had never been scammed, thank the Lord, okay, but it would be hurtful if it happened to me. My mom, she's 87. She's not very good with her smartphone, and she gets text messages constantly. When I go to visit her, and I usually have to look at her phone for some reason, there's something wrong, and I will go through and look to see what's in there in her messages, and I'll actually block these text messages that she gets, okay. So just beware. You know, getting scammed or bilked out of money, or you know, making a bad choice on the internet, it's an embarrassing moment for people, okay. Sometimes they don't like to mention it, you know, to other people, but we can all learn from each other's stories, okay. And if you've got a story about something that happened to you like that you feel like could help the viewers of the channel, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell us your story. I would love to hear about it, okay. There's so many things going on in the world. We need to help each other. The last subject I want to talk about today, okay, is cell phone service. Now, that is, to some of us, that might be a sore subject, okay. It has never been really to me. Had different things in my lifetime with cell service, but what I'm gonna do is tell you where I'm at now as a senior citizen, okay. When I retired, I was on our corporate plan, and they paid the bill, okay, and it was unlimited service. I had an iPhone 13 Pro, and when I left employment, I had to get my own, okay, my own service. So I was trying to decide what to do. There were several services to choose from, but let's talk about those, okay. First off, you have the main carriers, okay, at the top of the food chain. They're called MNOs, mobile network operators, and what that means is they have their own towers, okay, and their own communications. They don't piggyback off of anybody. The 3 main ones that are out there now are Verizon, AT&T, and I almost forgot, T-Mobile. Sprint was bought out by T-Mobile, so those are the 3 big ones right now. Then you have your MNVOs. Those are mobile network virtual operators. They piggyback off of the main carriers, okay. They buy tower time. So those different ones, some of the popular ones, Mint Mobile, TracFone, Cricket, those kind of things, okay. Now, that's just a short education, okay. That's not a complete list. There's a lot of other MNVOs out there that you can get service from. I am with the MNVO. My wife, before I retired, she was on Verizon, but she was on a prepaid plan, grandfathered in, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, but she had limited service. I think she only had like 5 gigs of data on her phone, and she was paying $35 a month, okay, which to me, that was reasonable, okay, because we used to be under Verizon contract, and that was like $150 a month. Anyways, when I retired, I started looking around for cell phone service. Now, I looked at Mint because they seem to be the most reasonably priced, and one of the reasons I didn't go with Mint is because they use T-Mobile towers. Now, where I live, out here in the rural middle part of Tennessee, T-Mobile towers are not plentiful. The plentiful towers that are out here for service are Verizon and AT&T. So I had to look in a different direction. I did go to the Verizon store and talk to them about a plan for me and my wife. It's gonna be like $215 a month. I said, no way, Jose, I'm not paying that. So my next option and it's really what I wanted to do, is I wanted to stay on the AT&T towers. And the reason why is, in the area that I live in and the places I go, AT&T has the better service, the towers, versus Verizon, okay? And that's just a thing. Now, if you lived in a big city somewhere, it probably doesn't matter, okay, what you have. But for me, the tower choice, being AT&T, had better service. So I went down to Cricket. We have a Cricket store, talked to them, and they have a pretty good plan. They have a unlimited plan for one phone, one line, is $55 a month. But if you put two phones on there, it drops down to $40 a month per phone. So to me, that was a reasonable call for unlimited service on AT&T towers. Now, so my wife, I switched her off of her prepaid plan and put her on Cricket with me. And now we get one phone bill a month for both phones, and it costs us $80. Not $80 plus tax, $80, okay? $80 includes the tax. You know, you can go visit Cricket. This is not an advertisement for them, and I'm not trying to sway you. But what I am telling you is you have choices in cell service that could affect your budget, okay? Now, if the T-Mobile situation had been a little better in my area and the areas I travel in, okay, because I do travel around the state, then I would have picked Mint, okay, because they have a really good plan. I think they still do. They have a 55 and up plan, and I believe, I want to say it's like $15 a month if you pay for the whole year in advance, okay? Now those are MNVOs, virtual operators. Remember, they're piggybacking off the main guys. They're just buying tower time, okay? Now, if you read the contracts closely, my Cricket contract says that there might be times when the network is slower. So they may, they may throttle your internet service a little bit. But you know, that doesn't bother me so much. I'm more concerned about having good signal when I am traveling. So if something was to happen, my wife or my parents could get a hold of me. So like I said, if you're in the big city, this probably doesn't matter to you. But living out in the rural area, it does. So before you dive into cell service stuff, make sure you do your homework, okay? I did, and I'm happy I did, okay? I got Cricket. Got any comments about that? Leave them in the comment section. Them comments help me out. I try to answer every single one of them. I may not get to them for a day, but I do get to them. And I try to answer you truthfully, okay? No, I don't try, I do. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know, okay? I'm not gonna make it up. I don't have nothing to prove, okay? So you can trust what's coming out of my mouth is the real Ron, okay? This is our second lap. We've been walking for 55 minutes, okay? I got at least another 45 minutes. I'm gonna put this camera down and try to pick up the pace and gain some ground. Whew, okay. That was the walk for today. I did 10,624 steps, okay? And let's see what the other statistics are. It was 5.06 miles. It took me a total of 1 hour and 42 minutes and 15 seconds. And it says I burnt about, I don't know, 1,300 calories. I don't know how they figure that out, you know. But anyhow, I did make it to 5 miles today, so that was a goal. Now, one loop around this whole perimeter of this place is about 1.4 miles, I believe. It might be close to 1.5. So if I've been doing 3 laps and then a little bit of extra, which puts me at 4 miles, and then whatever extra mileage I get in by doing like a half a loop. But what I figured out is if I just do 4 laps, okay, that should be about 5.5 miles, and that would be my goal to reach 10,000 plus steps a day. Now, you don't have to do 10,000 steps in one sitting. You can break it up during the day. I just choose to do mine in the morning, kind of get it over with, and then go home and relax a little bit, have a little breakfast and what have you. That, from what I understand, from what I've read and listened to on the internet, you don't have to do the 10,000 steps in one sitting, okay? So, you know, do what's comfortable with you. And the important thing is to get started. That was the hard thing for me. You know, how I decided to start doing this is I was watching a YouTube video put out by a gentleman, and he was talking about 10,000 steps a day, and he would talk about it frequently throughout the course of his videos, and I started doing some research about it to see what that really meant, okay? So starting tomorrow, July the 1st, we're going to do 10,000 steps a day, okay? Try to every day in July. I'm going to I guess I'm going to weigh in. That's about the only thing I can do tomorrow, and get a base weight, and then see what kind of progress we make through the month, okay? Like I said, this is not about weight loss. This is about health and fitness, and you know, I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. Hey, listen, I'll talk to y'all later, okay? See ya. Bye-bye.